everybody. This is DQP Does. Tonight we are doing episode 2 of the Star Wars saga. Attack of the Clones, right?
Welcome back, everybody. Tonight we're doing... No, I'm just kidding.
Welcome back, everybody.
Oh, what's happening?
Tonight we're doing episode 2, Attack of the Clones, right?
The second episode in the first part of the Star Wars series that took place after the other part.
That wasn't for him. That was for the movie being shit.
It's great to be here.
It's great to be here. Welcome back, everyone. This is episode 2 of the Star Wars saga, Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, you should just talk like that the whole time.
This movie was shit.
I'm Paul Harvey. Good day.
That was the rest of the story. Son of a bitch.
That's Walter Cronkite.
Whatever. Who cares?
Are you going to do an opening to this, or is this an opening?
This is the opening.
Oh, yeah,
we're
this is
recording.
We opened.
How long have we been recording? Was it before I plugged my headphones in?
Yep.
Shit. Oh, man. So, episode 2, Attack of the Clones. Who did we add to the cast here? We added Christopher Lee.
That's the only one that matters.
Yeah, pretty much.
Who?
Different Anakin. Christopher Lee was Count Dooku.
Oh.
The guy that plays Django is new.
Yeah.
His first appearance in this episode.
Oh, we had Hayden Christensen as Anakin.
Oh, yeah, he's new.
I thought he was a very talented actor.
You're hilarious. Tamura Morrison. I'm sure I'm saying his first name wrong. As Django. Jimmy Smits doesn't play a huge role in this one. He's more in the next one as Organa.
Wasn't he in Phantom Menace? Or is he just mentioned?
I think they just mention him, and if he is, it's just like briefly.
I thought
He's also in Sons of Anarchy.
Jimmy Smits. He's
Yeah.
in a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I thought he meant Bell Organa.
Yeah, Jimmy Smits plays Bail Organa.
In Sons of Anarchy.
Yes.
Organa?
Oregano.
I thought it was Organa.
Word association. I
Whatever.
don't know. It's Organa.
Wow, okay. So I'm not wrong.
Whatever. I couldn't care less about this fucking movie right now. I'm pretty sure I only watched it one time before this because like I forgot a couple parts and it was just like, this is fucking awful.
So do
Oh
we
my
want to
God.
start with the acting?
Yeah, I mean we brought up the cast, so let's start with the acting.
No one cared about this movie, including the actors?
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck. Like, fucking Natalie Portman had more chemistry with a fucking tennis ball on the end of a stick than she did with Hayden Christensen in this movie.
I'd watch that.
What? What did you watch?
I'm talking about like CG tricks when
Oh,
they have like a
oh.
CG character.
Yep. Yeah,
God
we knew
damn.
that's what you meant. You know.
So do I find that on Mr. Skin?
I think the only thing you're gonna find is from like Black Swan. I don't know.
Your Highness.
Your Highness.
Yeah, she has like a thong scene or
Yeah,
something.
there's some
okay.
highness.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I don't know, she was fucking complete cardboard 90% of the movie, which I'm not used to. She's usually pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Hayden Christensen was like his like eyes had a lot of emotion and shit, and he like gestured wildly because he didn't know what the fuck else to do.
Yeah.
But every word that came out of his mouth had the weight of a feather.
he looks real sad almost this entire movie, and I think that's because
Or like
he realized where his career was going after doing this.
so pitifully pissed.
So yeah, I mean, even Ewan, like, he has a couple good spots and a couple good lines, but even
Yeah.
McGregor, like, I didn't.
Yeah, I mean, like I like
buy.
some of the stuff with Ewan in it, but like a lot of it's garbage. But I think it's more because of what's going on.
Yeah,
Because like, okay, as an example of like the terrible acting in this movie, the scene where Anakin and Padme are sitting fireside in like a fucking den or something on Naboo.
yeah,
And they're like, he's like trying to convince her that she loves him and like that they can be together and stuff. Like, I feel like they read the lines and they were like, this is fucking stupid.
yeah,
And then the director was just like, well, I mean, that's what George wrote, so
yeah.
fucking do it or get out. And they were like, okay. And then they just like read them off the palm of their hand as like shittily as possible.
Well, I mean, this was around the time when, like, you know, directors were being pieces of shit, right?
Was it? I don't know.
Yeah, so like he was probably like beating off in the background, making him say those lines, and he's like, "This is fucking great shit. Just keep going." That's why it looked all rapey and creepy. Is that an edit or is that true?
I mean,
We don't know that that's true. But I also don't think it's an edit.
no.
I think part of the problem with the prequel series is that, like, George was so right the first time with 4,
Yeah.
5, and 6.
He wouldn't listen to
That-
anyone else.
I don't even know that anyone tried to tell him.
Yeah, that's
Like,
true.
I think they were like, we don't see what he sees, so maybe we just follow him.
Do you think maybe somebody said something after the first one? Because this one is different. Like, the feel
Jar
of the
Jar
movie.
doesn't talk as much.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, like, there's not as much Jar Jar. It's a little less kiddie.
yeah.
It's actually a lot less kiddie.
I think-
like, there's a lot of like decapitations and shit in this.
Yeah, there is. Then there's, like, the Django one is super intense.
I always thought his fucking head fell out of the helmet, like when his son picked it up, but I guess it doesn't.
No, but that'd have been fucking awesome. He just picks up the helmet and his head just, like, drops.
Yeah,
Fuck. Dad?
you just wanted it to happen.
I did want it to
Yeah.
happen because that kid was annoying too. Like, and he had like 3 lines.
Yeah.
The acting in this was just shit.
Yeah.
It was horse
Like
shit.
across the board. Like the only people that I even like sort of believed was Christopher Lee and
Jackson.
Jackson. But like that's because those dudes live in B movies.
Yeah. I mean,
more specifically Christopher Lee, but like
Insidious was good too.
yeah, but
veteran actors.
veteran actor and like he can read fucking dog shit and make it sound good.
Yeah.
You know, you would listen to that guy or Christopher Lee or Sam Jackson read a fucking soup label,
Yeah.
you know, and people would pay to hear it.
Right.
Where a lot of these actors are young, you know, a lot of the other people in the movie are young and they didn't know what to do with garbage.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that I think you're onto something though, because it does feel different than the first one, and it's even different from 3. Like 4, 5, and 6 have a lot more cohesion between the 3 movies.
They
than
all
what
like
1,
have
2,
a
and 3
similar
do.
feel, but like they're like then you have like the difference in feel between planets and stuff.
Yeah.
But the movies have like a running theme through them that keeps them all tied together. Whereas like this feels like it's different, just completely different with the same characters.
Yeah. I would say I super love the story for this movie. I think it was executed extremely poorly.
The general plot.
The general plot I
Yes.
super like. It's executed poorly, and then I don't understand why the dialogue is so fucking horrendous throughout the entire fucking movie.
Right.
Like, you have your phrases that are in every Star Wars movie.
Right.
And then you have phrases that are in the first, the second, and the third movie specifically.
Right.
Like that's all kind of built into like the Star Wars movies.
Right. The lore, mythos.
And there are some parts where I feel like they just put them in there in this movie. Like like Anakin's like, I have a bad feeling about this, but they're already in the pit, they're already chained up.
Yeah.
Any other time that phrase is used
is before something happens.
Is before the bad thing.
Yeah, when they're going in towards somewhere in a ship and like, like, I have a bad feeling about this, and like then shit happens, not after the shit has happened, and like some monsters that
are like
are being
bearing
like
down on them,
herded towards you to murder you, are on their way. Like, oh man, I have a bad feeling about this. Oh really? Really, you have a bad feeling? Do you want to trade? I'll take the rhino, and you can have the six-legged fucking praying mantis.
That's what
dumb
they mean.
Fuck.
That's what they mean by the force is strong with you. You really got this down, Annie.
Open your goddamn eyes. Of course, something bad is about to happen.
So let's talk about Watto while we're on the differences between 1 and 2. I also think someone was like, hey, George, Watto was like, kind of like stereotypical Jewish guy in the first one, and George was like, yeah, he was. I'm gonna do it again, but worse.
Yeah. Oh God.
Like, yeah, the hat, the accent was even worse. Like, oh man.
I don't. It was so bad. I mean, there were still some scenes that were like for the kids, but then those were like fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Like the surfing the weird fat tick cows.
Yeah.
What the fuck was that?
I don't know.
Fucking garbage CG.
It was garbage CG.
Yeah. Fucking green screens.
It was like
Balls.
If George Lucas wrote Jurassic Park.
Dun, 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 dun. No.
Yeah.
It was real bad.
The only scene that I thought the acting was really good in, especially on Hayden Christensen's part, is where after he goes and he rescues quote unquote his mom, gets her body from the Tusken Raiders. He's talking to Padme, and it's the whole scene where he's talking about slaughtering them. Cut them down like animals. I was actually the entire movie. I'm like, man, fuck this movie, fuck this. I can't even get into this. And then like that scene happened, and that scene kind of actually brought me back in,
right?
Because like he does a fantastic job in that scene,
right?
Which I thought was interesting because like that's kind of like the first time we really see him like dive into the dark side.
Yes.
So
he's like tipping his toe in it the rest of the movie.
Yeah, and I remember enjoying his acting more so in 3 because he gets darker.
Right.
So like I think the real struggle for him and for his character in these movies is like he can't get past knowing he's going to be the bad guy. So all of these like good lines that he's supposed to be delivering, or all of being this like on the good side of the force,
right?
I think really was like a dichotomy that Hayden couldn't really like develop to act in.
I don't think it was 100% his fault. I don't think it was 100% his fault.
No, it's not 100% his fault.
I think a lot of the problem with the Anakin character, especially in this movie, because like it's way more forgivable when he's fucking 9, right?
Yeah.
But when in this movie, when he's just like, "Wah, oh my god, I don't like sand; it gets everywhere." It's so bad. Like,
which should have been Portman's line.
Jesus. But like,
wait a minute.
It's why it's called a sandwich. They wrote these lines for him. They wrote the character a certain way.
Right.
Like he did like ham up the whining and stuff,
Right.
but the whining was already in there.
Yeah.
Where like I feel like the character should have definitely been like questioning everything.
Yeah.
Because like that's where his turn comes from.
Right.
But it also comes from his love, his forbidden love for Padme, and it comes from his mother's death.
Yes.
Right? So like he could always have this questioning in there without being a whiner.
Yeah.
You know, and have this arrogance and everything, and that would be fine.
Yeah.
That would be even better actually than, you know, him being a whiner, because like I feel like they wouldn't put up with that shit.
Yeah.
Right? It would make more sense for him to be questioning and to be arrogant because he's super powerful.
Right.
And them to put up with it because he's super powerful.
Yeah.
Right? And then just trying to rein him in.
Yeah.
And then when he starts having a forbidden love, when he starts, and he needs to hide it from fucking Obi-Wan, okay? Like, why is he just, you know, openly doing this shit? It needs to be like, oh, hey, I wasn't looking at her like that, you know?
Right.
And Obi-Wan, like, questioning him, telling him to guard his feelings, you know? And then his mom dies, he loses his shit, and he holds on to Padme,
right,
even tighter. So then when he flips out on Obi-Wan in the transport ship on Geonosis, when they're chasing Dooku and she falls out, right?
Yeah.
And he flips out like, we have to set it down. Then that becomes like another big like breaking point.
Right.
You know, and that makes the character way better.
Yeah.
And that makes the acting easier too, because he doesn't have to be, you know, a whiny bitch that is also somehow capable,
Jesus.
you know, Jesus, and capable of being sympathized with.
Right.
Because otherwise it's like, who fucking connects with that character?
Right. Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think that would have been a better direction for the directing. Because I mean, even some of the lines, like the dialogue's like garbage, but like some of the lines delivered better could have came off that way.
Right.
But I mean, someone directed him to whine that much. Someone told him not to,
or said it was okay.
or said
we're going to use that take.
Yeah, and I don't get it. Like,
I don't
because
either.
you know what you're building to.
Right.
That's the
Everybody
thing.
knows, because those were like the most popular fucking movies ever.
Yeah.
And
you have one of the
that's
most
why,
iconic villains
yeah,
in the world, and you make him this like whiny, like,
he's a child. He's a petulant child, but he's like 20
yeah,
and a petulant child. It doesn't make any sense.
yeah. And I 100% agree that having him play more toward his arrogance and less toward his whininess would have been better.
Yeah.
But also, so to counter discuss that, I think, because you have the Jedi who are the arrogance of the Force, and the bad guys who use their feelings to make decisions.
Right.
Because the Jedi is very cold and calculated, and because making emotional decisions is bad.
Right.
So like,
but that's why
usually make bad decisions.
Like, when he questions them, like, his arrogance doesn't have to be the only thing. Like, why can't I do that?
Right.
I'm powerful enough to do that. But he can also be like, well, I feel this way, and then he would, well, no,
Yeah.
you know, because they can still do that, but like, it's like, well, the most obvious form of emotion that we can have him show is to be a whiny child.
Right.
And like, obviously everybody's going to get that he's just going straight to the dark side. Well, I mean, yeah, we already know that he becomes fucking Darth Vader, idiots.
Yeah. And I think they were too obvious about it, and I do like the idea of using the arrogance, and they could have used his feelings still had they been more like, well, no, I'm arrogant enough to think that following my feelings is right.
Right.
And then him doing
I won't be tempted by the dark side because I'm too powerful to be tempted by the dark side.
Yes. Like, that would have been
super easy to
fucking
do.
awesome.
One line.
Yep.
Fixed it.
Yeah.
Come on, George. Keep up. I know this is like is 16 years after this movie came out. 17, but I think it said 2002, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I think this was 02.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much wrong. Well, I don't know about wrong. So much that I did not like. I'm sure there's somebody that fucking loves this movie out there.
Let's talk about the underlying meaning, though. Okay?
Poop.
You ready for this? It'll blow your mind.
All right, blow my
Blow
mind. Make me feel better about this movie.
No, I'm not going to make you feel better about it.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So, in this movie, we get to see Anakin constantly pressuring Padme into a relationship.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go there.
And then Padme slowly becomes a victim to that relationship. If you think about it, she set boundaries early on, and then they made it just creepy as shit. I think that this sets a bad role model for women.
And young boys.
Yeah.
And if I just keep
Yeah.
whining and begging,
Yeah.
I'll get that ass.
Yeah.
No, that's not
fucked
how
up.
it works, bro.
That's fucked up. I don't like this.
No.
Yeah, no, it's we have a
It's
similar
uncomfortable to watch.
It is uncomfortable to watch.
It really is. I agree with you.
Because, like, we're sitting there, 3 grown fucking men, and they, like, start, like, kissing, and we're all like, what the fuck? Why? He has
Yeah.
been nothing but a whiny, arrogant bitch and mean to you while saying that he loves you, and you're gonna fucking kiss him, and then, like, later, you're gonna be like, I've always loved you ever
then-
since you were a 10-year-old child. Like,
Yeah.
what the
Yeah.
fuck?
And as the elder in that situation, she should have known to put a stop to it.
Yeah, put the kibosh on that. Holy shit. Yeah, there's some weird bad messaging going on in this movie too. It's like I understand like having some sympathy for a guy when, you know, he just like his mom just died but maybe not when he's like, well, I killed a whole village full of women and children.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't just kill the man.
Yeah. She's like,
I slaughtered them like animals. Oh, it's just human to be angry.
Yeah.
What?
You're just dealing with some abandonment issues from your mom right
You just
now.
fucking killed a village.
It's no big deal.
A whole village. Women and children. You dumb bitch.
It's terrible.
This movie's fucked. Like, in so many
Enthusiastic.
weird ways.
enthusiastic consent.
Yeah, I just don't, I don't know.
She was just saying yes so she wouldn't get killed.
I know. That's not enthusiastic consent.
Yeah. That's a
No, it's
Stockholm
not.
syndrome. All right,
Yeah.
so let's move beyond the fucking terrible acting and the terrible, like, writing.
Yeah, let's talk about
Yeah, let's
the
talk about it.
shitty ass CGI
Yeah,
in this.
shitty CG.
It was like watching garbage, hot fucking garbage.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah. They might as well just left it all on a green screen.
Yeah, I agree.
Not
It was
added anything in.
fucking awful. One of the worst ones was Palpatine and like standing behind his desk, and you just see like the window onto Coruscant on there, and there's like a visible white line all the way around him because they couldn't fucking CG a green screen right.
Yeah.
Holy fucking Christ! What the hell is wrong with you guys? I know it's 2002, but like the fucking like driving scenes in Friends where they have the goddamn like scrolling screens you crank by hand behind the window look better than that. What the fuck? Oh man, but yeah, the CG was terrible. All the fucking like fully CG characters looked even worse than episode 1. Some of the ships looked okay, the droids looked okay. But like there was some shit water.
There was a couple location shots that I didn't understand why they just didn't find an actual location. Like when Annie and Padme are having their fucking lovers picnic.
Yeah.
Like, why the fuck didn't you go to the Netherlands and shoot that fucking scene?
Yeah.
Like, I
don't know.
understand. You paid
Well-
more money for the CGI than you would have airfare.
I'm pretty sure Anakin made it to the Netherlands. Padme's Netherlands.
Enthusiastic consent.
Yeah, How cringy was him grabbing her hand with that fucking $5 KB Toys
Take my strong
skeleton hand.
It wasn't as creepy as when she was standing there with that like dress thing on, and it had like a bare back. He's like caressing her bare back.
God! And
That's
she
like
looked
smelling
she
a
looked
woman's
pissed.
hair. You know, like
She
standing by
looked
me like
pissed too.
Probably
Yeah.
he probably wasn't
It's
supposed
so
to touch her.
creepy.
Ugh.
That was the look she gave him was genuine. Like, that's weird. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to
Stop
like
it.
it. Don't stop. Don't stop.
Ugh, this fucking movie, man.
When are we gonna get back to watching good movies?
In
The
like
next MCU movie that comes out.
ooh. No, we got like 3 good movies in the middle. You like the next one.
Yeah, I like the next one.
And then like 1 good movie after the end.
Yeah.
And then 1 even worse movie. Well, I don't know if it's worse than the prequels. But do we want to just go to ratings? Because like I don't know what the fuck else to talk about.
We have 30 minutes and like 10 minutes of edits.
No. I mean, we could trash this movie a little bit more.
Play
There are a couple of spots that I did like.
Okay.
All right.
What'd you like?
Let's go there. All right.
Nathan's snapping again.
He doesn't care because he was like, "Fuck this movie. I'm gonna sleep through a third of it." I liked the.
I like Natalie Portman in the white outfit.
Okay. I liked the battle on Geonosis. The second one, not the first one. The one with all the clones and the droids.
Mm.
The CG was still bad, but it still was like cool. I don't know why rockets have to go in curlicues all the time, but whatever.
Looks cooler than a straight line, which it doesn't.
Yeah,
I don't know.
doesn't make any sense. But anyway, I liked the battle with Dooku up until Yoda gets there, and then it's just like, oh, sweet.
I like, yeah.
What?
So, I like most of the lightsaber fight between Obi-Wan, Anakin, and Dooku.
Yes.
I especially like the cinematography of the dark scenes where it's just showing Anakin and Dooku's face.
Faces. Yes.
I even feel like Hayden did a good job there with facial
Yes. Expressions.
expression. Yeah. I almost said diction. Whatever.
Facial diction.
Facial diction.
Nope.
Said facial. So I really like that scene because it's all dark and it's creepy and like they're both
Right.
evil and like
Yeah.
it's just really
No,
good.
that's cool.
I don't like where Anakin loses his arm because he's very much hitting a mark and waiting for it to happen. And I fucking hate that. And that's some of the
Yeah.
worst, some of the spots with like some of the lightsaber fights in 1, 2, and 3 are really bad because like they didn't edit them properly, so there's too much time, and you
They're
can
like,
tell
I
that the
really
actor
want
is just
this. I really want this
waiting
one
there.
swoop in there. So we're gonna leave that in there because it's only on this one shot, and that's the shot where he waits for 2 seconds for the spot.
yeah,
So we're gonna leave it in. No, you got to sacrifice it to make the good, like the whole thing good.
right.
Just because it's dumb. It's
And
really
then-
dumb, and that
yeah.
is actually why I don't like the first part of the battle on Geonosis, because there's a lot of really bad choreography
Yes.
in like the Jedi deaths and stuff.
Right.
Like all the CG stuff's fine because fucking CG, you can do whatever you want with it.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be dumb just because like, oh, I have this corny idea, haha. You know.
yeah, like
but-
the whole. I could have went without the entire C-3PO droid bit. Like,
Yeah,
I
but,
get that
I
it's
mean-
like the comic relief in the
Yeah,
battle scene,
That's totally
but you have R2-D2.
yeah. It's
Like
really
R2-D2 is all you need for the comic
it's
relief.
really dumb, but it's totally harkening back to, you know, A New Hope and Empire and Return. R2 and C-3PO hijinks. So,
Right.
Like, I'm okay with it.
But typically in 4, 5, and 6, and we'll get into that, when they're doing something like it's relevant. Like the C-3PO droid
the beginning
switch.
of what they do is relevant.
Yeah.
The rest of it, not so much.
I just feel like the C-3PO droid switch was completely
If they had
like pointless.
if they had done something where R2 went just to save him, and then when they saved him, they saved everyone else,
Yeah.
that would have made it good, because that's basically what happens in A New Hope,
Right.
right? Because like he goes in there and like does his thing, and like C-3PO just causes a bunch of problems, and then R2 ends up saving them in the trash compactor and shit and like all that stuff. So like
Yeah.
very similar situation. Same thing with I think in Empire and stuff. He goes after C-3PO, ends up saving people.
Yeah.
And it ends up being plot device. But this was just the hijinks for hijinks' sake.
Yeah.
I mean, R2 did end up saving him, so it like almost tied it to where it needed to be,
Right.
but not quite.
Yeah, it was just something R2 just was like did out of the kindness of his droid heart.
Yeah.
And because he's R2 and he's easily the best hero in Star Wars.
Yeah, pretty much.
So,
But yeah, I mean, that was pretty much all I liked about this movie.
so yeah, I also hate when Yoda shows up
Right.
because like the force contest that him and Dooku do is like too slow to be like cool, I guess. It just like looks
they
dumb.
sped everything else up to meet up with the times, but then they like had the Force duel even slower than it is in
Yeah.
the original trilogy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's just dumb. And then Dooku's like, well, we'll match the contest with fucking lightsabers. And then fucking, like, Yoda's all flippy and shit. And he's got a bad back. Come on, man. Like, It's fucking trash. And it's Yoda. Yoda's not, like, at no point in time is he ever, like, a badass lightsaber user.
It should have been like the Vader and Obi-Wan fight.
Yes. That would have been fucking cool.
It should have been like that,
Yeah.
but it wasn't. And they horribly missed the mark. They had to have dumb flippy shit.
Yeah.
All right, whatever.
Or-
fucking keep ruining your movie.
What I thought would have been, what I always wanted out of that scene was Yoda, like, sits down in a meditative position and, like, his lightsaber comes out and floats.
Yeah,
And he fucking duels Dooku without actually holding the lightsaber.
right,
I always thought that would have been fucking cool because he's the best Force user
right.
in the Star Wars canon, at least as far as like the movies go.
Yeah, I think that would have been dicky, but it would have been better than what we got.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
It would have been a little dicky.
in a perfect world where this was basically Star Wars Blade Runner, they would have just like stared at each other and started sweating until like kind of like grunting a little bit, and then one of them would have given up.
Oh, dude, that would have been fucking awesome.
Yeah. No, it would have been fantastic. Like, what the fuck's happening? Oh my god, they're fighting with their minds.
And there, I think how much CGI, I think how much CGI they used, like hindered the shit out of this movie and probably hindered a lot of the acting too, because it's going to be easier for the characters to do the acting when they have the believable sets around them.
And it was like early on in like having all of these CG characters and stuff on screen at the same time.
Yeah, so there's a lot of techniques that these guys like pioneered
Yeah.
that they were learning.
Which
while
that's
doing.
great. Good job on that. But you didn't master them. So your movie came out like shit.
Yeah.
You came up with some cool new techniques, and eventually somebody at Disney and Marvel Studios figured it out.
and the pacing.
Finally got it right in after 10 years of their own movies.
The pacing of this movie just like feels wrong.
Yeah, it does.
So, and even though, and I think that has to do with it being a sequel because it follows the idea and like the direction of the first movie,
Uh-huh.
like as far as the plot develops, it follows that similar path. But
Right.
the first movie is world building and setting up the trilogy,
Right.
whereas this is like a sequel, so it's supposed to expand, not necessarily follow. And it's the same. Like it all builds to a big fight at the end, big battle scene,
Mm-hmm.
like war scene. Not even, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck they were doing with this movie.
They didn't either. They just didn't. They're like, let's make a movie.
Yeah.
What kind of movie you want to make? Oh, we should go probably make episode 2. Oh, okay, let's do it. What do you want to do with it? I don't know. What do you want to do with it? Like the fucking crows from the
hold
Jungle
on.
Book.
But we forgot one of the things that we said very early on when we were watching it. But it ties into this. I don't know. Let's make a movie where it's 10 years later and literally everyone has changed their opinion on everything.
Yes. What the fuck?
I don't know, man. Because, like, you know, Obi-Wan was all, I don't know if they know what they're talking about. We should do this. And Qui-Gon was like, no, we should listen, follow their orders, blah, blah, blah. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's the opposite. And then, like, I don't know. Just everyone's opinions about everything were different. Like, oh, we shouldn't trust the Senate. Well, we should really trust the Senate now.
Yeah.
And
Or Anakin is bad news. And
he's the one that's gonna
now
to
he's
save the Force.
Yeah, bring balance to the Force.
Yeah.
Well, yes, Sam Jackson, you are correct. He does bring balance to the Force.
Yeah, by killing
That
all the
doesn't
extra
mean what you
Jedis.
think it means. Which I also, as the audience,
we're gonna bitch about this movie for an hour.
we've done worse. As as the audience, it is humorous to me to think about the balance of the Force, and
Right.
Anakin actually does bring balance to the Force. But
Right.
the wise Jedi Council, how do they possibly think that bringing balance to the Force means
Putting them in power.
devastating the Sith out of existence?
Right. That's not balance. Yeah, that's not balance.
Totally not balanced.
It's not. You're right.
Yeah.
All right. Fuck this movie. Let's get to fucking ratings. I'm tired of talking about it. I hope no one that listens to this show actually likes this movie, but if you do,
Fuck you.
no,
No, not fuck you. You're listening. We appreciate
Yeah.
that.
fuck you, Russell.
Yeah, fuck me.
If you do like this movie,
Don't actually fuck me, though.
God damn it.
You just keep going. I'm just talking underneath you.
Please email us at draftyq@gmail.com. Hit us up on Twitter at draftyq. Tell us what we missed. Like what made this movie good. If you agree with us that it sucked, you can hit us up on there too. If you have any other questions or suggestions, please send us email or tweet us. Anyway, my rating for this movie. Oh, God, I'm going to give it like a 3.
Hold on.
Oh,
I'm going to write mine down before you say yours. All right, go.
I'm going to give it a 3.
Nope.
Because they finished a movie. and Christopher Lee and Sam Jackson were in it. So that's 3 points. That's all I'm giving it.
It's a pretty solid rating, bro.
Because, man, I knew I didn't like it. But we watching it again, I was just the whole time, just this movie fucking sucks.
Yeah, dude.
Holy
I hated this
shit.
movie more than I thought I hated this movie.
Oh my God. All right, Russell, let me know what your number is.
3.5. I even wrote it down.
Oh, fuck.
3.5.
Yep.
And I gave it a 3.5 for very similar reasons. They managed to finish this movie. And then they also released it.
Oh, yeah, there's where.
And then
the
somehow
0.5
they got
is.
us to watch this movie 17 years later.
Yeah. Fucking assholes.
But I would give Christopher Lee an 8 because
It's fucking Christopher Lee.
it's Christopher Lee, and he stands out in this movie too. And I love him as Dooku. Like he's such a good bad guy. However, he's kind of super fucking wasted because this movie's trash.
Yep.
And in the third movie, which we'll get to, he's only in it for like 10 minutes.
Yep.
And it's bullshit. And a lot of what even gets this movie a 3.5 for me is the times when Hayden Christensen needs to be dark. He does that really well when he's not being whiny, specifically the one scene that I mentioned, but there are a couple other scenes where he's like and when he's holding his mom, I thought he was believable. I didn't super love Shmi's acting and her immediate head rollback.
Oh my god.
Slam back.
People fucking dying in this were awful.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to slam my head back, or I'm going to move, like, softly tilt my head to the direction that it would not loll, because that would be against gravity. Gravity?
Yeah.
Gravity.
It's gravity in this movie.
Oh my god, the gravity thing.
Oh no.
Oh, fuck.
Say it.
So they fucking take a whole planet system out of the archives, and this is like a big plot point. They're hiding the planet that the clones are being created on, right? Mm-hmm. So Obi-Wan finds out that this planet is supposed to be there. He looks at the star maps, and it's not there. So then he goes to Yoda and his class of younglings, and they're like, oh, yeah, okay. And they're like, well, the only thing that makes sense is if somebody just deleted it from the archives. They're like, oh, yeah. So then Yoda's like, well, look there. There's gravity pulling all these stars towards the center.
Actually, Obi said that.
Or did Obi say that? It doesn't matter. It's not how physics works.
I thought the Earth pulls in stuff all the time with its gravity.
Not stars.
Well, then why would we have shooting stars?
They're not stars.
Shooting stars aren't shooting stars?
No.
No.
This is space
Pluto's
debris.
not a planet?
No.
Nope.
It's planetoid.
I think you're full of shit.
Is that its official title now?
I'm pretty sure it's a planetoid.
You're a planetoid,
I'm getting there.
Jerry.
What?
I just called you Jerry from Rick and Morty.
Because yeah, it's not a planet.
Yeah.
Yep.
Huh. Yeah. I don't know. This movie's fucking awful. But shit, I was gonna say something else.
Yeah, but nothing. This movie's
Insert a
fucking awful.
promo.
And we're back.
That's how that works.
I wonder what promo we used.
I don't know. I didn't even know we had them.
We're working on them.
All right.
We'll have them by
Crimson
the time
Ring,
this
no
is edited.
DQ
Nathan,
is a part of that podcast.
what did you think about this movie?
Oh, I gotta rate it. So, a while ago, we talked about favorite Star Wars movies,
Uh-huh.
and I put this in the top 3. I was wrong. Obviously, I wasn't fucking serious. I like the next one. That's the one I want to watch.
Okay.
And then after that, I really don't give a fuck.
Okay.
Um.
I'm watching all 9 of these just to watch Empire, so I understand.
Okay. As far as a rating goes, because I got to do that, I'm going to rate it what Russell did to the bathroom after we watched the movie.
That's fucking accurate as hell. What did I say? It smelled like you puked cat shit out your ass.
Yeah.
That's the
I
official
don't
rating.
super love that this is in here.
Do you want me to change my rating?
Nope.
We can either do it now, or then you're going to
wait
pull
till
the
it goes up.
podcast down and we'll put a new rating on there. shit a knees.
Please don't shit on my knees.
Oh fuck.
No, this was a steaming pile of shit.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It was. All right.
And that's what it's getting rated.
Thanks, Nathan. I appreciate your
So-
rating.
Yeah, I know. And now you have a way to edit that over the other in case.
Yeah, in case he changes his mind.
No, I won't.
Let me give you some clips, too, that you can use later. Wowzers. That was garbage. Gee whiz, that movie sucked. You can put those wherever you'd like.
Okay, thanks, bud. All right, well,
plugs.
Plugs? For what?
All right, so by the time this is released, we would like for you to go check out our super exclusive Patreon content for $1.
I don't know.
No, you're fine. I don't know that we've talked about it.
No, we haven't.
All right.
You fucking tell me to do plugs and I don't have a fucking... You got to give me copy here, motherfucker.
Time out. You should definitely follow us on Patreon and become a subscriber. It's only $1 a month. I mean, what else can you do with $1 besides give it to us? And I think that's a great idea. So you need to support us so we can keep putting out content. And if you're a subscriber to Patreon, that gives you extra content to look at, watch videos, things that don't get aired. There'll be a lot of good stuff on there, along with a one-chip challenge by Shane and Russell, part of DQP does.
And if you can help us get to 500 subscribers at $1, that will unlock our $5 subscriber feed.
I don't even know what we're going to have to do on that one.
We actually already have one thing planned. Super secret plan.
I'm not showing my titties.
That'll be on the $10
We don't
subscriber.
have anything planned.
I'll show mine. Fuck it.
Y'all need to give me copy if we're going to have fucking promos.
No.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Hit us up on the Twitters at DraftyQ. Send us an email, draftyq@gmail.com. Or dqpdoes@gmail.com. Either one.
I think it's also a good time to go ahead and announce we're changing the name of the podcast feed to Shit Show Podcast Network.
The dog just scared
okay.
the shit out of me.
All right. Well, this has been DQP Does. We went over fucking Attack of the Clones. And I'm not going to do a quote because this fucking movie doesn't deserve one. Because none of us actually want to watch it. It's fucking hot garbage. Oh. And Nathan's headphones are unplugged. Good job, buddy. He doesn't want to be here anyway.
Nope.
Oh, that was the joke.
Yeah. God damn it. Edit. Edit as fuck. Wow.
Sorry. I can't stop laughing. I'm sleep deprived.
What the fuck was that?
Oh.
You got pussy hair on there?
Actually, it was black, so I'm going to assume it was from your face from the other day.
It was from my pussy.
All right. I just picked Nathan's pussy hair off my microphone.
Who was producing yesterday?
But it was black.
My pussy has black hairs on it.
I mean, that's your pussy is Shane's face.
No, I.
Yeah.
Two bears do a podcast. Edit.
We're leaving that in.
I mean, eventually it gets pulled out.
Only once it gets floppy.
Floppy. Kind of like this movie.
I'm gonna quit.
Dude, soft penis coming is weird.
What?
It's weird.
You mean
You're not seeing
coming
that?
while you're soft?
Wait, does
I've
this
seen that
happen
in
a lot?
porn. No, I don't do it. I've just seen it in porn. I'm just like, I don't. What is happening?
I don't even know how that's
My-
possible.
My personal FBI agent's gonna be freaked out later when he's like, "Why are you looking this up? God damn it!"
Why? Why do I have to watch this with you?
What was that?
Stop. Please stop, sir.
I can't. It won't stop.
For your own safety, please stop watching this.
Brought to you by the Shit Show Network. Yeah, that.
This has been a production of the Drafty Quarters Podcast Network.